Good morning. All right. Hold on. Coffee. Bring that closer. There we go. That's better. Well, I got plenty of stuff to talk to you guys about. Some of it's good, some of it's not. Some of it's sad. But I'll tell you in a moment. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday. It's December 31st, 2020. My name is Jeremy. And this is my first cup of coffee. It's my last first cup of coffee of 2020. Well, we've made it. If you're watching the show, and assuming you don't die today, which unfortunately is always a possibility, you will see 2021. And as far as I can tell, 2021 is starting with a bang in some good ways. Let's get the sad stuff out of the way. A partner at one of the firms that I do work for passed away 2 days ago. So, she was sick. She had lung cancer, stage 4, and to my knowledge, didn't find out about it until about a month ago. Just she had some trouble breathing, and the owner of the firm, a good friend, had encouraged her to go to the doctor. She went to the doctor, and they're like, "Oh, you have stage 4." They didn't even try to operate. They didn't even try chemo. It was that bad. So I'm sad. I'm more sad for my friend, for the owner of the firm, than myself. I didn't know. Her name was Kathy. I didn't know Kathy well. I don't know that I ever met Kathy. If I did, it was one time. It was very briefly. But we had plenty of Zoom calls and phone calls and helped her with her computer a bunch. And she was a kind woman. And she was only 71. She was behind a daughter. She was behind a granddaughter. And it's sad. Now, why do I bring up something sad? This week we've talked about a little bit about living in the moment and treasuring what you have, being present. You can get hit by a bus tomorrow. You could find out you have some inoperable something tomorrow, today. Appreciate what you have. Be grateful. Be grateful that you're alive. Life is the ultimate adventure. You know what else happened yesterday? I had a call with what will become another martial arts school client, and I'm super excited. This school has an incredible community, and I'm going to be really honest. I don't think I'm going to have to work that hard to crush it. That's pretty cool. To know going in that I'm just gonna be able to rock it, and the school is gonna be able to see more students. I'm so pumped. Stacy says, "Good morning. Congrats on the new client." Well, thank you. Hung with a friend last night, hanging with the same friend and a couple others tonight. To ring in the new year, this is where I kind of wish I had an Oprah Winfrey voice, and I'd be like, "You get 2021, and you get 2021." But today's gonna be a long day, so here's what's going on. Finished talking to you. I am probably not going to be able to edit the book this morning. Why? Because of the timing of things. I've got a couple client calls. I got a client call first. I have a client call at 8. No, I have a call with Justin from Martial Journal at 8, and we're talking about the print magazine. We've been working on that all year, and we're getting there. So I have that call. I have to bring my car in for snow tires. Then I have another call with a client. Then I have another client who managed to break their computer. It's a point of sale system at a retail store, so I'm going to swing over there about the time they open, try to fix it. Good morning, Emmett. And then do whatever I can with the rest of my day. I'm going to try to get to the gym, at least for a little bit. And that'll be it. That'll be the year. You know what's interesting? So, for those of you who don't know, I live in the woods. Not completely in the woods, you know, I can see other houses. But I have security cameras because sometimes I leave my house. And it's nice to know what's going on. Well, I check the cameras as part of my morning routine. Just, oh, what did it see? And it's usually just cars driving by on the road. At midnight, somebody delivered a package. Pretty sure it was UPS. I haven't been outside to check because it's dark and cold. Midnight. So for anybody out there complaining about not getting your packages, know that there are people who are willing to do that. Part of me is annoyed that somebody was in my driveway at midnight. But mostly I'm thankful that someone was willing to do that. I'm thankful. I am grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee. I am not grateful for the poll in Martial Arts Radio Behind the Scenes on Facebook, where everybody has decided, the majority of people have decided that they love the movie Best of the Best, and they're leaving me out in the dark by that poll. You can check that out if you haven't. You know what else happened yesterday? I had a great call with Frank. Frank and I talk from time to time, talk about various things, and as you might imagine, as the producer on this show, we talked about this show, and he corrected me on something that I thought had changed, had not changed. I mentioned that we've stopped doing the audio version of this show. Completely wrong. What happened, as far as I can tell, is I made up a memory after looking at the audio feed and seeing that there weren't any new episodes. Come to find out, the software that we use for that show was having a glitch on that day. So yeah, you can still get First Cup in audio. And guess what? Roughly the same number of people watch and listen. We've got, on any given day, somewhere between 40 and 50 people checking out this show. I think that's awesome. I didn't make this show to be big. I made it to be fun. I feel like, so Stacy says, I will go vote. I did not love it at all. I remember that. We talked about that in the Facebook group, and Emmett says, another excellent movie is Red Belt. It's seriously underrated. I've heard of that movie. I can picture the cover. I'm trying to remember if I watched it. I don't remember. I've been emailing with Jenny, who's in charge of all of our books, and talking about, and for those of you watching and listening, let me know. I'm curious what you think. Would you be interested in a whistlekick book on martial arts movies of the 80s? We've identified how we can put that book together. Excuse me. And I'm thinking that, we'd sprinkle in quotes from guests on Martial Arts Radio about the movies, because we have transcripts so we can search these things, right? Super fun. If that would be of interest to you, just, chime in at some point. Email me. Let me know. I'm just curious. We got tons of books coming. Speaking of books, did a bunch of editing yesterday on the book, the novel. Got through all the Microsoft Word edits, and now I'm going through the Grammarly edits, which are so many more. There were over 1,000 edits that Microsoft Word picked up in 70,000 words. I found a number of things that I could do in batch, right? Like the spelling. I wanted to make sure that the spelling on a certain name was consistent, so that was easy. Some formatting stuff. And now Grammarly's going through saying, oh, Jeremy, you need a comma here, not a period. Oh, Jeremy, this is the wrong tense. And that's exactly what I want, but I feel like I'm back in elementary school. Such a good cup of coffee. I would like to work at Costco. No, not really. I love Costco. You know why? So this is the Costco Starbucks blend. Because everything they do has to be awesome, right? Like you can find documentaries on Costco and what they do and how they work. But it's if you buy anything at Costco, it's probably going to be really good. And I think that's really impressive. It's kind of the same business model we have for whistlekick. If we're going to do something, we want it to be really good. Emmett's giving us the plot for Red Belt. It's a movie based around BJJ, but the main character is excellent and has a real code of honor mindset. And not very successful as a coach, but sticks to his morals throughout. Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should watch that. If we had a little more reach, one of the things that we've talked about internally and decided not to do are watch parties of movies. Grab something that's, pretty universal on Netflix and schedule a time and everybody watches it on their own Netflix and then we chat about it while the movie's going on. That would be a lot of fun. Why haven't we done that? Because the people who would be interested in that are the people who are going to show up for all the other things. And there's a core group, but I don't want people to get burned down on whistlekick. But that's a real concern of mine. So if we do too much, that could happen. But as we grow, that's one of the things that I would love to implement and just say, hey, give us some suggestions for the next movie that we're all going to watch. That'd be fun. What else? I think that's it. I'll be honest, I am really looking forward to another 3-day weekend in a row. This is going to be great. I need this. Oh, you know what else I did today? Oh, Cobra Kai Season 3 watch party. Ooh, Cobra Kai tomorrow. I'm excited. You know why I'm excited? All right, this is where the hat I wear, the hat that I designed and put on my own head as someone who loves and advocates for traditional martial arts. I am more excited for Cobra Kai for everyone else than I am for myself. Stacy said, enjoy every minute of your weekend. I will, thank you. Did I enjoy Cobra Kai Season 1 and 2? Absolutely. What did I enjoy most about Cobra Kai? When it went on Netflix and everybody else watched it. And now we have people talking about it, loving it. It's been incredibly well received. I don't know if you've seen the articles. John Hurwitz, one of the writers, founders of Cobra Kai, who's been on the show, he's been on Martial Arts Radio, great guy. He put out a piece on Facebook the other day showing that the early critic reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 100%. Something like 22 critics are chiming in at 100%. Critics hate everything, at least some of them. This is pretty awesome. It's going to be cool. I'm pumped. Because this is what we need. This is what we need going into 2021 is great representation of traditional martial arts. And those of you out there with schools, if you are not finding subtle ways to capitalize on this, you are missing the boat. It is being handed to you on a platter. Run with it. You can do this. Emmett says, I saw the season 3 trailer last week for the first time. My wife said she hasn't seen me that excited since I proposed, and she said yes. LOL. Love it. Nice. All right. Well, let's see what's in here. I know Frank said he was going to send me some jokes because we're not doing a show tomorrow. We're going to let me sleep in. Because if I'm staying up till midnight, which, if I'm hanging out with friends, I kind of have to, which I don't usually do. I don't usually stay up till midnight on New Year's. I don't want to do a show at 6:30. Some jokes on a Thursday. Oh, what are y'all here? Hold on. Oh. Okay. Oh, we got a bunch of them. Youth is when you're allowed to stay up for New Year's. Middle age is when you're forced to. I feel seen. What New Year's resolution should a basketball player never make? To travel more. What does a jeweler do on December 31st? Ring in the new year. What is the snowman's New Year's resolution? To chill out more. What's the easiest way to keep your New Year's resolution to read more? Watch TV with subtitles. Where can you find comedians on New Year's Eve? Waiting on the punchline. Why is partying in Times Square overrated? Because they drop the ball every year. Where can you practice multiplication tables on New Year's Eve? Times Square. Why should you stand on just your left foot during the New Year's Eve countdown? So you start the new year on the right foot. What do you call always having a date for New Year's Eve? Social Security. Did you hear about the guy who started fixing breakfast at midnight on December 31st? He wanted to make New Year's toast. Good stuff. Thank you, Frank. There was another one in there that... Oh, comedians. So if I wasn't hanging out with friends tonight, what I would have done is there's a comedian that I've hung out with, opening for a comedian that I've seen many times. Bob Marley, the comedian, is from Maine, and he's performing this evening. And opening for him, or at least one of his openers, is I don't know what his comedy name is. His name's Jimmy. And it might even be something hokey like Jimmy the Janitor, because that's a lot of his shtick. His full-time job is he's a custodian in the Worcester Public Schools. And when I was on a CrossFit podcast in February, he was around, and the host of that show is a full-time comedian. Eddie is a great comedian, and Jimmy had opened for Eddie before, so Jimmy knew Eddie was going to be around, and Eddie did a show. Jimmy came around, and we hung out. We hung out for hours after. It was a great time. He's a good guy, smart guy. A wonderful example of not judging someone by their profession. You know, you would assume, oh, this person, society would look down on someone as a custodian. Oh, this person can't be smart. They can't be funny. They can't be, this is the only option. His Instagram's hysterical. I mean, he kills it. He's a great comedian. And so the idea of getting to see him again and watching him perform, and Bob Marley, who's probably my favorite, definitely top 5 of living comedians. He's a great comedian, and for anybody in the Northeast, if you haven't checked out his comedy, he's great. Emmett says, I know you have a dark sense of humor, Jeremy. I do. You should check out Frankie Boyle, a Scottish comedian that is dark and brutal on his audience. Okay. I feel like I've heard that name before, and I don't know if I've checked him out, but I will do so. All right. Let's see what else is in here. What else did Frank give us? To round out 2020, oh, we got some different stuff coming through. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. Benjamin Franklin. I've only ever had one New Year's resolution: to make this year better than the last. And I'll be honest, about halfway through this year, I was like, ooh, I don't know that we're going to get there. But what happened? I managed to get hold of quite a few things, especially right here at the end. I've got more clients. I lost a couple, added more, and replaced, I think tripled the income that I lost from those clients. Dialed some things in on the show, on Martial Arts Radio, on this show. We're in a really good place. 2021 is going to be amazing. I am so excited. I don't know that I've ever been this excited going into a new year. And yeah, the date's arbitrary, but I'm pumped. It is such an exciting time for Whistlekick right now. And I'm glad that you're part of it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having New Year's resolutions. If there are things that make sense for you, if there's a line that you want to draw in the sand and say, you know what, I'm starting this thing now so you can more easily let go of the baggage or the things that have held that back, do it. But if you're going to do it, do it. Like really commit to it. Write it down. Tell people. I've got some lofty goals this year, and I've told some people about them. Not ready to share some of them publicly. Some of them I'll never share publicly. But that's okay. Doesn't mean they're not goals. Doesn't mean I'm not driving for them as hard as I can. What the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year. Vern McLellan. What's that other quote? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. We have so much control over our lives and how we live them. And it's a lot to do with attitude and perspective. I've said it before, I can look at my small home here in the woods of Vermont and say, oh man, here I am, I'm 41, and I've got this, small, old, some would say not so nice home. And I look at it and I say, you know what? This place is easy to maintain, it's inexpensive, it's in the woods. When I look at my land versus the land of my neighbors, I've got this great piece of land, I can grow anything. I live full time in a cabin in the woods. Two different perspectives on the exact same situation. One of them makes me really happy. That's the way I choose to look at it. Would I hate having a bigger, nicer home? No, of course not. But it doesn't mean I'm not happy with what I have. Stacy says, once I get my 2 vaccine doses, which are scheduled, I am looking forward to being able to return to Taekwondo classes in person. That's awesome. That's great. I don't know if that qualifies as a New Year's resolution, but if it does for you, then by all means. I actually reached out to a school, martial arts school, that I've never trained at yesterday and said, hey, what are you guys doing? Because I'm getting the itch to do something different. It's a goal, by all means. It's a great goal, and I know what Taekwondo and that community means to you, Stacy. So that's great. I'm ready to start training in person again. I'm going to lose my mind here. I'm going to start sparring random people on the street, which unfortunately they call assault. I won't really do that, don't worry. Each New Year's regrets are envelopes in which messages of hope are found for the new year. Let me read that again. Each year's regrets are envelopes in which messages of hope are found for the new year. John R. Dallas, Jr. I don't know how to expand on that. Let's go to the next one. On New Year's Eve, the whole world celebrates the fact that a date changes. Let us celebrate the dates on which we change the world. Akilnathan Logeswaran. Akilnathan? It can't be that. Akilnathan Logeswaran. It is an arbitrary day. You can make change any day. You can create change anytime. It has never been easier in the history of time to change your life. Why? Because of your access to information. If you want to change your life, here is Jeremy's prescription for changing your life. Ready? It's free. Here's the free version. You find podcasts that relate to what you're trying to change. That's it. Why? Because if your attention is focused on it, you're hearing other people talk about it. One of the most powerful things for me, and plenty of people dislike him, and that's totally fine. Dave Ramsey's podcast or show has a lot of people talking about getting out of debt. How they cranked and they paid off tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt in short periods of time because it was the most important thing for them. I find that inspiring. That's one of my goals. One of my goals for 2021 is to be personally debt-free. I don't know, the company's got a fair amount of debt, but I'll be able to clear mine. That's for sure. I will totally be able to do this, and I will. Find podcasts. Now, if you want to step up, if you want to pay a little bit of money, $15 a month, Audible. Get audiobooks related to what you are trying to accomplish, change, achieve. Right now, I'm going through an audiobook on time management. And you know what? 50 to 75% stuff I'm already doing. The heart of the book I'm already doing. Don't make a to-do list, schedule things on your calendar. I figured that out 10 years ago. But there are still other things in there that I need to hear, things that I need reinforced. Don't be afraid to subject yourself to new information, new ideas, or even information ideas that reinforce what you're trying to accomplish. I think for a lot of people who listen to martial arts radio, that's why. Because they are virtually surrounding themselves by people who are passionate about traditional martial arts. The people around you, the ideas you hear, the words that you hear and speak, they matter. So fill them with things that are important, powerful. Oh, this one might hurt. Don't live the same year 75 times and call it a life. Robin Sharma. Why does that hit me? Because that's one of my fears. I hate when I see people saying, oh, you know what? Just a couple more years of this. Oh, that's you trying to hit the fast forward button. What about today? What about now? What about this moment? Don't waste it. Are there times you've got to put things on autopilot? Yeah. I can't pay off my debts tomorrow. Money's not there. Actually, to be honest, if I rearranged everything, I probably could. But it, cash flow wise would kill me. Wouldn't work. Think about, all right, here's a visual for you. And this is where we're going to end. Because this is powerful, and I hope Frank's not offended. I'm skipping a couple of the quotes. Actually, here, let me read them quickly, and then I'll come back to what I'm about to say. One more, just one more. Tonight's December 31st. Something is about to burst. The clock is crouching, dark and small, like a time bomb in the hall. Hark, it's midnight, children dear. Duck, here comes another year. Ogden Nash. I'm glad I did read that. That's fun. All right, and if you ever want to see these, remember, they're on the comments, in the comment section from the day before's episode. Okay. Here's how I want you to think about life for a moment. You ever make fresh squeezed orange juice or lemonade? You know, you get the little twisty thing, and you manually, it's got that little, right? You squeeze orange juice, squeeze lemon juice. Now you can take that orange, that lemon, and you twist it, and you call it good. But what do most of us do? You take that pick that orange back up, and you squeeze it again with your hand, and you get a few more drops. That's life. Now, if you're just doing one or two oranges, those drops don't add up to much. But what if those drops, what if you're making fresh squeezed orange juice every day? How much juice do you have at the end of a week, month, year, lifetime? Now, what if you're not just making orange juice one meal a day? What if it's 3? What if it's 24? What if that orange represents the hour that you're in right now? Get every little bit out of it you can, because it adds up. Because throwing it away, even throwing it in the compost, is wasteful. It's up to you. Emmett says, oh, he's got a couple things here I missed. Regret nothing. Everything good or bad has led you to right here, right now. Yes. Couldn't agree more. Make your goal a podcast, and now you're accountable. People will support, but also hold you to your goals. Yeah. I'm coaching a bunch of people through making their own podcasts right now. One of the scariest realizations for me, for most people, is the realization that you have complete control over your life. You do. Total control. Carries some responsibility with it. So I hope that today, as we roll into the new year, you will think about maybe things that went well this year. What did you get right? What are you going to double down on in 2021? What didn't go so well? What are you going to stop doing? Commit to it, the good and the bad. Commit to making next year better, maybe even the best year of your life. That's my commitment. I want to thank all of you who watched this or any number of episodes of First Cup this year, who support martial arts radio, who contribute to the Patreon, or just send me an email once in a while and say, thanks for what you do. Maybe you bought a book, maybe you bought a shirt, maybe you just thought positive thoughts and found value in what we put out. Thank you. I appreciate all of it. It means a lot to me. So, this is my commitment to you, that 2021 is going to be even better with all the things that we do, and hopefully you'll hang out and join us for the ride. I'll see you back here on Monday. Have a fantastic, safe, happy, healthy New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody. Peace.